Greetings fellow gamers, I'm the Soulsborne Seeker and today I'll be giving my first impressions on Altered Alma, a Cyberpunk Metroidvania game that's being developed by 2Awesome Studio with an as of now unannounced release date and expected to come out for the PC, PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch as well as the Xbox. The demo I played covered the first 40 minutes of the game, so my feedback will be based on said experience and the gameplay elements I got to witness firsthand as well as those that were hinted at. Altered Alma transpires in Neo-Barcelona, a futuristic city drowned in beautifully eerie neon lights, brutal gangs, and opportunists galore. You step into the battle-hardened boots of Jack, a mercenary with a mysterious past who's currently on the run from a group called the Crusaders for unknown reasons. Desperate to escape, Jack goes on a quest across the city in order to find a spaceship and crew that will help her leave the planet and evade her enemies, but to do that she will have to go toe-to-toe with some of the most dangerous individuals Neo-Barcelona has to offer. One of the first things that truly stood out to me from the get-go was the game's visual presentation, with its stunningly detailed pixel art completely fleshing out the setting and breathing life into Neo-Barcelona while bathing everything in crimson, sapphire, amber, and mauve hues that complement its cyberpunk sensibilities in masterful fashion. While I only got to experience a fraction of the city, what I saw was more than enough to whet my appetite for the biomes to come, which are expected to be brimming with a diverse cast of characters from a variety of different alien races. As a matter of fact, the existence of said characters will be an important part of your gameplay experience, since Altered Alma incorporates a social aspect that allows you to forge relationships with NPCs through dialogue, which can lead to the unlocking of side quests and items as well as romantic instances, all of which will influence the story's progression. I truly enjoyed that part of the gameplay during the demo since it provided a more in-depth understanding of the world as well as Harry, the first crew member I came across, effectively immersing me further into Jack's adventure, though if you're not one for dialogue and romance, you can very easily ignore this part of gameplay as it is considered optional and just focus on the action. There's also an element of coziness present here since, near the start of the game, you'll come in possession of an old spaceship which you will be able to upgrade and decorate to fit your own stylistic preferences, though I didn't get a chance to experiment with that aspect of Altered Alma. Special mention should also be given to the game's soundtrack, which featured tunes that ranged from hauntingly etheric ambience all the way to excitingly adventurous pieces, always befitting the cyberpunk theme. In terms of exploration, the demo featured quite a few discoverables for me to find, as well as the promise of more to come. First and foremost, you will be able to find neon talents, which are special fighting skills you can use at the cost of neon, a form of energy that replenishes via combat. You'll also discover mods, referring to modifications you can equip that will give you an edge in combat and potentially exploration, of which you'll be able to have a limited number equipped at any given moment based on your capacity level, which you can upgrade during your playthrough, though I didn't get to experience that process. Additionally, you will come across supreme neon abilities, which are essentially ultimate skills that cause massive damage at the equivalent cost of neon. Furthermore, I found a chest that contained credit, which I figure is the game's currency, but I never got a chance to see what I can purchase with it. Finally, the game will also give you the option to get cybernetic implants for Jack, which are expected to further enhance combat and exploration, but those weren't available in the demo, so I cannot expand upon their exact usefulness, even though I find them incredibly fitting to Altered Alma's cyberpunk theme. There will most likely be more types of collectibles available in the full game, some of which I expect to be related to the decorative system for your ship, but for now the above were the only things I got to see, even in reference. Other things I didn't get to see in the game were its fast travel system, which I'm really looking forward to, as well as the way in which it will mark points of interest on your map, or if it will allow you to place markers of your own, even though it already shows you entrances and exits into different areas as well as save points. Save points correspond to cybernetic chairs you use in order to replenish your health, mark your progress, as well as restock your health cores, which are the game's healing item and can be used at any moment, both during and out of combat in Souls-like fashion. Now, in my humble opinion, in order for exploration to feel complete, it's always great to have some interesting platforming segments to go along with it, and in the case of Altered Alma, I'm delighted to say that it features one of the most entertaining mobility skills that I have ever come across in a Metroidvania game. Early on in your adventure, you come in possession of the Quantum Blade, a dagger that allows you to throw it and, once it lands somewhere, teleport to its location. This became the catalyst for some truly fun and hectic acrobatic sequences in which I was jumping and teleporting through electric barriers, across phasing points, and over metallic thorns like a cybernetic ninja, which really set the stage for what Altered Alma is aiming to achieve in the platforming department. If these early challenges are any indication, then I cannot wait to see what sort of mad obstacles the game will throw at me later on. In fact, based on developer descriptions, said dagger appears to be the focal point for overcoming most of the game's obstructions and will be able to be upgraded with new abilities throughout the adventure, which will allow you to reach previously inaccessible areas. Combat-wise, I'm glad to report that Altered Alma features a solid, fast-paced battle system that incorporates parrying and dodging seamlessly in order to create skirmishes that feel more like death dances. The demo gave me the opportunity to go hands-on with Jack's regular blade, which did an awesome job of hacking and slashing at my enemies, as well as the regular and supreme neon abilities, which can turn the tide of battle when used correctly. Parrying leaves enemies open to attacks, while the dodge move allows you to slide beneath your foes and stab them in the back. That being said, the real star of fighting ended up being the aforementioned Quantum Blade for two main reasons. First, when thrown at an enemy, it allows you to close distances quickly and then make quick work of them with your standard blade, which brings an element of tactics into the fold, since that way you can change positioning quickly and attack foes when they least expect it. Secondly, if an enemy gets weakened enough, there will be a momentary red flash around them right before they attack. If you throw your blade at them during that instant, you will be treated to a fantastically brutal finisher that adds a cinematic feel to the whole endeavor. I'm not sure if Jack will come in possession of any ranged weapons later on, but as things stand at the moment, combat has incredible potential to become something truly special. Boss-wise, I only got to face two big bads during the demo who differed in complexity. The first one was a mini-boss connected to a side quest, which didn't really impress me since his attack pattern was fairly straightforward and easily avoidable. The second one, however, was the first main boss, and I have to say I had a blast with her, since she featured a good range of attacks that were adequately telegraphed while still necessitating snappy reflexes as well as the use of the Quantum Blade, keeping you constantly on your toes. If the developers are able to maintain and even surpass that intensity with subsequent bosses, I think we're up for a treat in the villain department. In conclusion, I loved my time with this first taste of Altered Alma. I adored its visuals and ambient music which accompany the beautifully rendered setting. I'm incredibly intrigued by the story and world building. I had immense fun with combat. I loved the main boss fight and was over the moon with the possibilities provided by the Quantum Blade. The optional boss was incredibly forgettable, and there were a few aspects of the game I didn't get a chance to see, like the game's fast travel system, map marking system, spaceship customization, and implants, but what was here was more than enough to get me incredibly excited for the main course. I should also mention that as of the time of this video's release, Altered Alma has a very successful Kickstarter still running, the link for which I will include in the description below for anyone wishing to support the game. What are your thoughts on Altered Alma? Had you heard about it before this preview? Are you planning to try it out when it becomes available? Let me know in the comments below, and please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Soulsborne Seeker out!